Guys, welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. We are back with Anton Daniels and interview his one-on-one interview sit down with Brittany Renner. This is, I want to say, let's see. Brittany Renner, PJ Washington kicked me out, cut my credit cards off, and took my car. I still love him. Okay. Look, this is the part of the story that everybody has seen in all the headlines, right? She's a predator and all this and that. So I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? Because again, why? Because she has a big following, and it seems like a lot of modern women today agree with the way she does things. So we need to start getting to the bottom of this stuff, but enough conjecture. Okay, enough mystification. We know. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. If you guys, if you guys send me a link to where PJ does an interview, we need to break that side of the conversation down too. We need both sides of the conversation. I've only seen Brittany, so that's what we're rolling with. And again, if she's going to be starting the podcast, we kind of need to know her thought process if it's going to be even worth watching. This is the point, because I follow Anton, and Anton tends to have high-level conversations. So if she can participate in that, then that means that there's a good chance that we can have some high-level conversations if she starts a podcast. Yeah, big if, right? Maybe so, maybe not. Either way, I kind of want to get the story from the horse's mouth. So we're going to continue on this journey, and let's go. 600 subscribers. Let's go.
You have that nature about you, and I'm going to skip around a little bit because in the same way that you choose not to mention him and protect him, I think that even though you are, and I'm going to give you a little bit of credit right here, right?
Okay.
The thing that even in the car when we talked off camera, and even when I see you on social media, you tend to take responsibility and ownership of your situation. Mm-hmm. But you protect guys in a lot of ways that people don't even really understand that you protect them. But you catch a bad end of the stick, right?
I feel like I'm going to use some tissues.
No.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to say one of the things that she is well known for is not taking accountability. But if Anton says that she is taking accountability, if she's good at that, I think it's worth a listen. I don't necessarily agree with him because, again, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Yeah, let's keep going. Because if he says it, then I'm going to start paying attention. I haven't read the book. He has. So maybe there was some insight in there that we just haven't gotten yet because we've just wrote her off as being, 304. But you got to get to the bottom of these things because you can't trust. At this point, I'm starting to think that a lot of the things that are said about her are people in their feelings. A lot of times that's where stereotypes start, and that's a lot of times where they stay. Is that you need some facts to start really identifying. Maybe everything is true, maybe it's not. But either way, we need to hear from the horse's mouth. Let's go.
No, why is that though? Is that something that's just inherently in you? Because you're the bad guy right now in a lot of people's minds, right? You are the person that's villain, and we hear a lot about the modern women and, baby mamas trying to catch people up and all of this other type of stuff. But even recently when you revealed, maybe how much, and I don't really want to get into that, but how much you maybe getting in child support and stuff, you don't really throw people under the bus. I didn't know about your grandfather until we just talked about it right now, right?
And neither did all these people watching. And I definitely never.
Wait, what? Say it again.
And neither did all these people watching. And I definitely never talked about that publicly.
But you are the villain.
Wow. Okay. Oh, the reason I pause is because, supposedly she's getting like a couple $100,000 a month in child support. If that's true, I don't know how a rookie contract could pay that much. Like that. I don't know. Those are the rumors. We're going to find out. I'm glad he said it, though, because we can address it.
But you soft.
Yeah.
You soft in real life. Like, people don't see who you are behind the camera, but you soft in real life. You just cry and all of that other type of stuff. Why?
I know I'm definitely going to need some tissues because I feel like it's like here. Because I feel like it's just like the vibe that you give me. I feel like safe here. Like you guys just have already made me feel really safe. But
Is this the superhero complex?
I don't know. I think for me, as it pertains to like someone that I love.
Okay, what I mean superhero complex is that you have a persona that you show to the public, but in real life, things are not, that online personality. And that's interesting because again, this is why I say the benefit of having these one-on-one conversations when we're in the same room, because people act different when they're there in person. I mean, it's easy enough to recognize that on a when we break down everyday people. And again, this channel is for average people. It's easy for us to understand it. I think where it gets lost is when we start talking about somebody who is famous, because we put famous people up on a pedestal, whether they've earned it or not. And because a lot of times we don't see them as human anymore. So this goes back to, I've said this before about, I think I talked about this in the last episode where Anton says that women tend to be just feminine around him when they're in his presence. It sounds like an ego trip, I know it, but there may be some truth to that. Because again, what woman is going around acting masculine on purpose in a one-on-one setting? Like, that doesn't happen that much if she wants to be there. That may happen. Now, it may happen down the road later, and tendencies start to come out. But for the most part, when we sitting down one-on-one, people tend to put their best foot forward. And for women, that's usually being feminine, whether it's genuine or not. That's irrelevant at this point for the circumstances of this conversation.
Talking about my child's father, I loved him. I still love him. I don't want to be with him. Thank you. I never wanted anything to be public, but hearts, like, they just don't break even. And I feel like I have been on social media for so long to where I don't want to be with him.
Why have the baby?
Like, that's fine, whatever. You guys, I've been called worse by better, and I feel like people have been trying to break me down for years. So a lot of the stuff that I hear isn't new. Outside of that, the way that I spoke to myself on a consistent basis, no one has ever put me down as much as I put myself down in private. But I think with my child's father, I feel like he was just younger. Like, you really don't know what it's like to be in my shoes, and to be talked to 15,000 comments on a picture, on videos, saying that I'm a pedophile, that I'm a piece of shit, I'm a gold digger, all these things. I feel like I just was like, the truth will see the light of day at some point, and I just didn't feel called to talk about it. Because I know who I was with. I know how sensitive he really is in real life, too. So I did just take everything. And I was hoping maybe he would come to my aid, or at least call off the dogs a little bit, as much as he could. But we're also in different places in our life, So
do you think that that's
fighting to sneeze? But that's, she just mentions an interesting concept, because we just saw what she was talking about, the situation with P. Diddy and Young Miami, where she's been called, what DJ Academics is calling her, a side chick, and he called her that on social media, and Diddy actually popped in and said she's not a side chick. Now, he didn't claim her. He didn't claim that she was his girlfriend either, but he definitely defended her. So that makes you wonder what's going on with the situation with PJ Washington. Why isn't he saying anything? Is it just him being petty? I don't know. Maybe maybe he's not that good in front of a camera. That could also be the thing there, is that, he doesn't want to, because he took some L's in that relationship. People were dogging him out for saying, dude, why are you with that girl? And then you got her pregnant. Dude, what are you doing? That maybe that he's too embarrassed. He's embarrassed by her. That's why he isn't saying anything. Then again, he could have a publicist saying, dude, you need to shut up and just sit in the corner till all this stuff blows over. We don't know, because he's not saying anything. Again, if you guys got an interview with him, if y'all know of one, they are like, email me, and and we'll and I'll send it to me. I'll definitely take a look at it, because again, two sides to the story, right? But this is what we got so far, so let's keep going.
Male female thing, or do you think that that's an individual thing?
With what?
With the fact that you were a little bit more reserved and you just take the heat, right? But at the same time, you waiting for him to call off the dogs, because I'm gonna refer back to your book, and I'm probably gonna refer back to your book
That's
in
fine.
a lot of this, because I got a lot of questions with regard to it. But even in your book, a lot of the different things that you experience, you were waiting on somebody to come and save you.
Unfortunately, yes.
Right? When you talked about, and you spoke extensively about the first guy, right? The boyfriend, college, whatever, and then you went and lived with your parents. You was willing to give up everything, and you gave up
And I did.
college, and you was a Division I athlete and played soccer and all of this different stuff.
Whoa,
right?
whoa,
You gave up
hold
the
on,
possibility
hold
of
on.
friends because
Hold on. She was a D1 athlete, which means that probably more than likely school was paid for, and she gave that up for a guy. Wow. Okay, I'm starting to get the picture here. It sounds like she was falling for the Disney fairy tale, because that guy that she's talking about, that clearly that wasn't PJ Washington. But you to give up a scholarship like that for a guy and it not work out. That says, I'm starting to get the picture of how she can get on this attitude about men are trash. Cause how much you want to? Well, we already said her father's not in her life, and granddad wasn't to be trusted. So again, who's vetting the guy? You know, this is just yeah, everybody's taking L's here.
one of the things that you said in the book was he was my everything, right? And I was willing to give up everything for him, even to go and live in his mother's basement just
Like
to be with
Cinderella.
him, right? But then
Disney
at the
fairy
same
tale.
time, you
Yeah.
said, I read a lot of this book, and it really did bother me a little bit, to be honest with
Okay.
you. You said that even it would be inside joke.
Yeah, it bothers you because he bothers Anton because he's a father. I'm feeling the same way about this story. Like she literally fell for the okie doke. And I mean, if but again, I see why she has a big following though, because a lot of women are going through this right now. It's like they have the right idea. It's just for the wrong guys. Yeah. Because imagine if she'd have did that for the right guy. They would have gotten married, had a kid, probably 2 at this point. You know? But, yeah.
Jokes that was happening at the dinner table
Oh,
that
yep.
she wasn't privy to, and it wasn't even really funny, but so on and so
Racist
forth.
jokes, you just call it what it is.
Because your mother is white and your father is black,
Yep.
right? So do you still think that affects you today, right? Like the fact that it seems like you're still waiting for a support system outside of the dope prince right here and maybe your mom and stuff like that. Do you still think that you waiting on men to come and save you, or a community or a support group to come and save you, even though you got all of the wolves knocking at your door leaving 15,000 comments on your pictures?
No. And I feel like I had to create this Frankenstein where, because I've had to be honest with myself. When I moved from LA to Charlotte, there was very much a part of me that wanted to be saved. And I saw that if I at least put myself in a position in the city that he's in, I got my own apartment when I first moved there, but I was like, there's the possibility of him wanting to move me in and at least, alleviating the rent. Being able to get ahead a little bit, and he makes, all of this money, he could potentially save me, right?
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
So I had to take responsibility for that too. But I feel like when the rug was pulled from under me, when the credit card was cut off, when I was told that there was just, a change of cards coming in,
So it's just cut off altogether.
when he cut my credit card off, when he kicked me out of our house, when he took the car keys away, because I got rid of my Benz because he got me a Bentley, but he didn't put it in my name, so technically it wasn't mine.
Oh, man.
Both of ours until
Yeah,
everything
both of
go
ours
bad.
until it's time for you to get the fuck out, bitch. That's what it is.
Yeah.
when he ripped the rug from under me and I had to go stay with my mom in her 2-bedroom, 1 bath with, mind you, I was sleeping in the bed with my mom and my baby. And then my sister occupied the other room. And we had like 8 dogs total. So there are all these dogs, 3 people, 4 people.
This don't sound like somebody who's receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. This is just sad. I mean, she's sitting up there expecting a Disney fairy tale. And, this is why the vetting process is so important. Because there's no way you're going to tell me that a father, if she grew up in a marriage, there's no way, no man is going to sit there and let his daughter say, oh, yeah, daddy, he gave me a car. He gave me a Bentley. It's still in his name, though, but it's mine. See, fathers know that husbands who are fathers know that that's some bait. He threw the bait out there. And see, again, if I was her father, me and PJ gonna have a talk. My daughter's not moving to North Carolina. She's not moving to Charlotte without us having to talk first. I'm like, what are your intentions here? Are you looking to get married? Then she don't need to move there then. Nah, she can stay with me. She can stay up under this house, all right? Because she's under my protection as it is. So that, that's another, again, the lack of protection that black women claim to be missing. But let's go ahead and finish. So we're almost done here, and I got some stuff for the summer.
In this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, and all these rumors are $200,000, and here I am in this rink-a-dink ass house.
So why were you quiet? Like, why not address the rumors based off of how you believe, how you feel like you were treated? Like, why not quell it immediately?
Because my heart was broken.
Okay, there's a couple things going on here. This is a high-level conversation because we're going to address a lot of things going on here, particularly the vetting process. You guys heard my thoughts on that. But the vetting process leads us to the protection issue that comes up all the time, right? Black women feel they're not protected out in the world. And you're not, because you're not under the authority of a man. You cannot, it's impossible for you to expect protection when you're under no one's authority. So again, if I was her father, me and PJ gonna have a conversation. Like, you want my daughter to move all the way across the country. Okay, are you trying to get married? Well, I don't know about that. Okay, well then I don't know about her moving then. That's not gonna be, no, my daughter's under my protection. I don't care how old she gets. She can stay with me until she has a husband. So I'm not, she can have a career or whatever. I don't care about that. What I care about is her being protected. And you talking about she gonna move out there to all the way to the other side of the country because she said she moved from LA to Charlotte. And it's like, what is going on here? Like, why are you moving all the way out there? I mean, and she said she got her own apartment. I mean, that's cool and everything, but still, it's like I wouldn't be comfortable with my daughter moving to a brand new city and because of some guy living there. I don't care how rich he is. Like, that's not no. You need to be, if you're telling me that there's a marriage in the future, I can see that. But if he can't answer that question, to me, nah. Because that means he's not ready yet. If he can't talk about it with me, and I'm your father, then he's not ready. That's plain and simple. So, the other thing that was going on here is that this is why I say that this is a prime example of needing more married couples, because again, she was able to grow up believing in that Disney fairy tale and not seeing the world for what it really is, not seeing the reality of things. Far too often we see our young women who are not maturing mentally fast enough. I can't understand why at 24 you wouldn't be ready for marriage. You would know how to be a wife. The only reason that happens is because you don't grow up learning this stuff. And again, that happens because we're not having marriages in our community. The maturation process is taking too long because the vast majority of men actually want marriage some type of long-term commitment. Because if you don't want kids, there's no point in getting married. You're still in a long-term relationship, right? But they want that, particularly for one woman. Average men, 100% want that because there's not a lot of options for us. So when we find that one, yeah, I'm good with this. I'm gonna make it work. The problem is that women are not. A lot of times they're not getting to that point until later in life, and in which case, then the guys are like, well, I was looking at you, 5-6 years ago when you were 23, 24, and you shot me down. Why should I come back around now? I'm just starting to get more options because I've started my career and now I'm making some headway. I'm making more money than I ever made before. You know what I'm saying? I can afford the sports car that I wanted back when I was 21. See how this works? And so now he's thinking, well, I got more options now. So, even though it ain't that many, but still. That's why we got to get the maturation process going. And we also have to vet. The vetting processes need to come right along with it so that women can not have as much fear about choosing the right guy. But look, again, Anton delivers high-level conversation, but we're going to end it here. I'm going to say it goes to the next time. Peace.